Hey YouTube, welcome to the Killian Family Homestead. This is a two-part video series looking at splitting a hive. This is hive number 3 for us, and this hive is a brand new, started with a nucleus, and it's built so quickly and so well this year that it really wanted to swarm on its first year. So it swarmed, and we, instead of allowing it to swarm naturally, we forced the swarm and put it into hive number 4. And that's what you're going to be seeing in this video. Talking about this hive right there, calling it hive number 4. It's a very late swarm that I prevented from happening. I didn't just take out the queen cells because hive number 3 was really showing signs that it wanted to swarm by putting a lot of swarm cells on it. They weren't emergency or supersedure cells, they were legitimately swarm cells because of the strength of hive number 3. So I just am helping them along, but I made a mortal mistake, and I want to teach you what I did wrong so you don't do the same thing. Okay, what I do is I like to grab some of this old hay that has been dried out and baked in the sun, stick it in there, and get my fire going. Try to get all the dust off that I can. Okay, put it off to the side. This stuff burns pretty well, and then it smokes really well once you get at least an ember going. Okay, let's recap what we have so far. We've got hive number 1, lots of activity. Hive number 3, which is the brand new hive this year to our apiary, doing really well as well. Hive number 2, and I don't see any bees coming out of hive number 4. So the mortal mistake that I referenced, oh, there's one little bee in there, acting like a guard bee. That's why you have the entrance reducer in there, so they can effectively guard. Ooh, I'm seeing some fighting going on in the front of the hive. I wonder if oh, there's a few bees in there. Make sure that it's so here's the mortal mistake that I made. As I said at the beginning of the video, this swarm has come from hive number 3. There were a bunch of swarm cells in there, so I took 3 or 4 frames and I put it into hive number 4. But then I needed to take some stores, and what I mean by stores is pollen and honey. And I had to take pollen and honey from hive number 2. The problem is I was in a hurry, wasn't thinking, I didn't shake off the bees from hive number 2, and I remembered that night that I had forgotten to do that. And so what I did is I mixed two hives of bees into one hive. And I'm sure there was an all-out war that happened. We shall see what it's looking like, okay? Is them taking cells that had eggs laid in them and building it out to be in the next queen cell. Okay, so they are thinking that they have the need to build out queen cells still, so we shall take a look and see what else is going on in here. Got to keep an eye on your hives for this sort of stuff. It's important. See it? That has a big fat larvae in the middle of it. So they are feeding it up with royal jelly and trying to build a new queen out of that. Lots of pollen stores in here from the previous hive. This was just brought in. How interesting. So the 2 capped queen cells that I put in here, I didn't see. It's like they tore it down to start over, which is not what I wanted at all. I believe this frame was just a frame of honey for stores. Yep, that's just a full frame of honey, only on one side. How odd. Okay, so let's start over, guys. We gotta figure out what happened here. So, recap, pleasantly surprised, no dead bees in the bottom, everyone's getting along really well. I'm gonna grab this middle frame here. I'm seeing a bunch of emergency queen cups, but they aren't feeling like they have to build out anything. This frame right here had a lot of different stage of larvae and eggs, and so they could have taken some of those egg cells and turned them into queen cells, but now I'm just got to see if the queen has hatched, and I'll show you and bring you along with me. Is them taking cells that had eggs laid in them and building it out to be in the next queen cell. Okay, so they are thinking that they have the need to build out queen cells still, so we shall take a look and see what else is going on in here. Got to keep an eye on your hives. For this sort of stuff, it's important. See it? That has a big fat larvae in the middle of it. So they are feeding it up with royal jelly and trying to build a new queen out of that. Lots of pollen stores in here. From the previous hive, this was just brought in. How interesting. So, the two capped queen cells that I put in here, I didn't see. It's like they tore it down to start over, which is not what I wanted at all. I believe this frame was just a frame of honey for stores. Yep, that's just a full frame of honey, only on one side. How odd. Okay, so let's start over, guys. We got to figure out what happened here. Okay, in summary here, this had a singular queen cell on it when I put it in, and this one had 2 queen cells when I put it in. As I look at it, they've done an effective job ripping down those 2 queen cells on this one completely. This one right here, it's actually looked like the princess hatched. So I've gone through the frames 3 times to try to find her. She's not in here. So either she's on her virgin or honeymoon flight, or something's happened. The mortal error that I made that I just keep referencing could have led these bees to believe that they needed to tear down queens that didn't have the right pheromone to them. And now what they've done is they've taken this frame right here and they've created another queen cell. So I know that I have one that has a big larvae in it, and it's going to take maybe 7 days or so from now, 7 to 8 days from now, then the queen will hatch. I'm just going to have to watch this very, very closely, because if the queen comes back, I do not want them to swarm again by this cell right here, flying off and taking half of my bees, because as you can see, this little nucleus hive doesn't have hardly any bees to stand for right now. Now, these 2 frames right here have some great brood patterns that are going to hatch out and be this next generation that will help this hive get through the winter time. But that's how I stand right now. I'm going to continue this video into the next few days to show you the full picture of what's happening. Thanks. Okay, it's the next day after not finding the queen in this. One thing that I wasn't able to show because I was a little panicky was after closing up this hive yesterday, there was all of a sudden a huge amount of activity in front of it. And as I observed it, I could see bees going from hive number 2 and then jumping straight across to hive number 4 and robbing it out. And so what I did is I placed this right in front of the entrance to block it, and I came back an hour or 2 later and it had calmed down. And now all you see, naturally this hive would not have any foragers. They start foraging near the end of their life, and obviously all the foragers that I put over here would just naturally fly back to the respective hive where they consider home. So right now there's some guard bees there, which is excellent, but there's no activity of coming and going because there are no foragers. And that is why we need to make sure we have enough stores in here, such as pollen and honey, for them to perpetuate their hive. Let's go ahead and take a look and see if the queen situation has remedied itself. What I mean by that is, did the queen princess come back mated, or are they really just going to depend on that new emergency cell that had a larva in it yesterday? Let's take a look. Alright, a little couple puffs and just to let them know I'm coming. Set this aside. I need to charge this a little bit. Didn't give it enough time to get super hot. There we go. Okay, this hive was not happy with me yesterday for doing this. I got stung right in the thumb. A couple of bees on the top, none of them queens. Set the lid on the ground. Don't forget your hive tool. Okay, I like to give a puff just down the center there. And then, once I crack the lid, and they don't have enough bees to make propolis, so that's out of habit, but I could have just lifted this, there's no propolis on it. In this hive I'm going to give like that. Give it a second. You know, the fact that there are bees left in here, that's a good sign. Knowing that nurse bees are loyal to the brood, and not necessarily the queen, so to speak, or anything else, they would naturally stay in there unless they felt, after that robbing attack, that not a whole lot of bees, they've definitely lost some in that attack. I'm going to try to be as quick as I can. I've got to find the queen. I've got to know what's going on here so I can take out the other one. Couple of queen cups, nothing inside of them. This is the one right here that something hatched out of it. The queen did. All these queen cups have nothing in them, so these bees are not moving a whole lot on the frame. And on an overcast day like today, you typically would think that they would be moving a lot. I don't think that they're queen right yet. Really hoping that that activity I saw yesterday was a mating run or flight, and that I had just missed the queen on my 3 checks. And when you're looking over a frame, you don't want to look at each individual bee. You want to scan across it over and over again until your eye catches an anomaly, because the queen definitely looks different. Longer abdomen, wings are a different size, they go to a different length. I thought for sure I'd find her if I was going to find her right here. I think, I mean, I'm not a professional at this at all, but I think by the way they're acting, that one queen cell that hatched, I don't know what happened to her. I just don't know. She might have been attacked by a different colony. She might have went to the wrong hive after mating. You just don't know. It's just interesting to me that they tore down those 2 queen cups. This next frame is the one that has some active queen cells. So now let's take a look at them. Right before the honey frame. Yep, they're building it out, making it, they're sculpting it as they call it. You see that? And there's not a whole lot of bees on there, so you can see how they're sculpting out that one. I wish you could see how big of a larva there is in there. They'll have that thing built out and then capped. I think it takes 16 days for for a queen to hatch. Okay, the size of that larva tells me that was a egg that when I put it in here, they tore down the other ones and wanted to start fresh, it looks like. So that's only day 3 to day 4, so I've got a good week or so to 10 days before I'm going to check this again. And hopefully it will be capped off at that time or have just hatched, and then it can take off, be mated, and come back and get this hive going. You know, you see all that capped brood, there's going to be a lot of babies that are hatched out of here, and this hive is going to have a lot of workers when she arrives, so that's good. I'm going to let this one be though and feed the rest of these hives and be done for the day. Okay guys, it's been a number of days later, and I'm going to dive into hive number 4 and see what the heck's going on. One video that I did not do is I went into this hive a few days ago, and to my surprise they've built out another 4 queen cups around laid eggs that have hatched into larvae, and they are building out more and more queen cells. So we're going to count how many there are today and see how far progressed that one queen cell is. It's a nice day, a little breezy, so you might pick up some wind noise. I'm sorry about that. Let me get my smoker going and then we will see the hive. Okay, I'm not really expecting any of the queen cells to hatch. I just want to take a look and see what it is. I'll remember to keep the frames lower so you can actually see it. Ooh, got a little bit of propolis going on. That's good. No queen on the bottom, or on the top board rather. Okay, cluster. This is where the brood nest is, right here, like you've seen in the other segments. Let's take a look. It's a very calm hive. That's really good genetics that allow it to be calm. I like to smoke the bees down so that I can work it better without worrying about crushing them. As you can see, it's a little breezy, and so let's take a look here. Try not to get stung this time. Okay, queen cup. That's a capped queen cell right there. Not a whole lot of bees with this breed. They have a lot of pollen, which is good. They still need to feed their young when it hatches. Okay, new bees. Capped queen cell, capped queen cell. Ooh, the breeze is a little. Without any bees, I've got to be careful. It's a warm day. Ooh, there's another capped queen cell right there. The brood is hatching. I'm seeing a lot of young bees. There's another capped queen cell. There's a capped queen cell. So on this one frame on this side, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Bees, they like to make sure they give themselves the best chance. No sense in rolling the dice on just one queen cell. Here. Brood, when you're also looking at the frame, take a quick glance at some of the smaller bees. Ooh, I think that one has a varroa mite on it right there. I think that's what that is. Yep, I might need to do some varroa maintenance. Huh. Okay. I don't see any other varroa mite anywhere on any of these bees. But lots of bees have hatched though, that's for sure. Hopefully they'll get some foraging going on. Okay, there's quite a cluster right there. Looking around to see if... Don't look at individual bees, just scan. Boy, there are so many young bees. So many young bees. I'm seeing a lot of empty comb. I'm not seeing a whole lot of pollen on this particular frame, so I wonder if the babies are getting enough food. I hope so. The light blowing on them helps them break up and move around so you can see into it. When you have these young nucleus hives, you just got to be careful to make sure they have everything they need to be successful. Pollen, honey, places to lay. The cluster is in the center, where the brood nest is in the center. Lots of young bees. Wow, they need some stores. I think I might have to take a frame out of another hive and put some pollen in here. There are no queen cells that I can see on this particular frame. This next frame, which doesn't have a whole lot of bees on it, so that's a little worrisome. But this is the one that has that queen cell that's the oldest and most progressed. Let's take a look, I'll show you. I think there's a couple other queen cells in here too. See that one at the end? Not the end, it's right in the center, I mean. Right there, they actually capped one above it too. And there's some tearing going on at the end of it. She shouldn't be ready. It takes 16 days. But she might be getting pretty close. Should have been keeping track of the days. These other queen cups that are on here don't have any larvae in it. So luckily we've had some warm days still, so you know, I'm not worrying about chilling the brood because there's not enough bees in here to incubate this very well. Hopefully she will hatch and be the next queen. And then this is just a honey frame. So we got 2 in here, and you had, I can't remember what I counted on this other one. But this one right here, frame number 4, because I took the empty one out. That is the frame that has the queen cell that should hatch here pretty soon, I hope. No new queens on the thing. Sometimes in the middle of a swarm there can be multiple queen cells that hatch at the same time, and you can find multiple princesses within the hive. Stupid wasps. Mind. And then this frame, I believe, is the one that has our queen cell. Let's take a look and see. No, it's still capped. As you can see there, both of them are still capped. Shouldn't have the smoker like that where it's constantly getting the hive, but I'll move that out of the way. Let's now go and let's take a look. I believe it was this frame right here that had the other surprisingly queen cups that they had built out, and see if they've capped out. This is the pollen and honey from the other pollen, tons of pollen right there. You see that? I specifically put this frame in there to make sure that we could feed all the new brood that was hatching. Oh, they did cap that off. Do you see that? They capped that one off. The tiny little emergency queen cells. So when these queens are made like this, they're just not of the best quality because the cells are pretty small and they're not long and peanut shaped, elongated for the larva to grow into. You know that all the queen cells that were there, they've now capped off. All the queen cells that are right here, this one hasn't hatched yet. It's on this frame, I think it is. So we're just going to push them back down so I can place the frames back close up against each other again, and then I'm done. Let me show you something. You see those bullet-shaped cells? Those are drone cells. Okay. The problem, well, one thing that I've learned, the problem with these foundation frames is that the foundation comb is in the shape of a worker bee cell. It's not as wide as a drone cell is. And thus you get tons of workers, which is great, but you might not get as many drones as your hive needs from a genetic diversity standpoint. So I need to get proactive and switch out some of these frames with starter strips, but let them build out their own comb how they prefer it. That's something I've learned from Tim at the Rose Hive method. I appreciate you, Tim, if you're watching this movie. So I'm probably going to check this again, bring you along with us until that hatches out and see what happens. Hopefully, again, can't help myself but just sit here and observe. That metal entrance the purpose is to stop mice from jumping up and getting in there, but to give them enough room to crawl in and out. The problem, if you can see with these, is that you see the underside of the lid is hanging over the circle a little bit. And someone, if you can teach me, please take the time to teach me. You know, it's tough for those bees to squeeze into that spot right there. I mean, they have plenty of other holes down below, of course, down on this spot base, but with the bottom of it overhanging, they get stuck sometimes and they have a tough time actually getting their pollen through there. That would be one thing that I would improve with that design, but I just have them screwed down in place so that just in case a sheep or something knocks up against this, it doesn't shift it completely out of whack or fall down. If you've been paying attention though, there's really hardly any pollen coming in. At this time of the evening, as these bees are coming back from their final trip, you would think that some of them would have pollen. Tells me I've got to get better at pollen feeding. I've got a few bees banging up against my head here, telling me, why are you so close to our entrance of our home? So I opened up hive number 1, and to my surprise I had missed a queen cup or a swarm cell that they had laid into, and they just finished capping it off today. And I'm going to destroy this queen cell because I do not want hive number 1 swarming right in the middle of them making honey. That's what I'll do now. Lots of bees are hatching in this thing. I might need to feed them. I've got plenty of honey stores though, so I don't think I don't want to feed them. Still haven't propolized the top of the lid, which is good. That's fine by me. Especially on these ones, I like to look and see if the queen is on the lid, like I've been saying. Nothing. Keep them calm. Okay. It's just this one right here that I need to look, because I know that this queen cell is the oldest one. It takes 16 days for this queen to hatch, and I feel like it stays 16 or past, but I'm just not keeping track. I'm not doing a good enough job. Look at the weird thing that they're building on the end of that. Still capped. Yep, still capped. Lots of honey stores in this one. It makes me feel really good about that. Okay guys, obviously it's day 16 or 17. I've been gone for a few days because I just checked. As you can tell, I didn't even bother to bring the cell phone the first time around. But the queen has hatched. Let me show you what it looks like. Okay, removed one frame to give me some space, grabbed the frame that was initially laid and sculpted out. I'm gonna get stung because I haven't been smoking. I was just gonna come in here and check a look. Do you see how they tore down this one right here? after the queen hatched right here. So there is a virgin queen princess within here somewhere. I try to be calm because it's at the end of the day. We just got back from Seattle, and so I'm gonna get stung. I just know I am here. But see it open, you see there, they've torn it open. Queen has hatched, and there's probably been a lot of activity today as she has got mated, maybe, or maybe tomorrow will be her day. I'm just gonna go through each frame real quick and see if I can find her. She's difficult to find because she's small. She's small because she hasn't been mated. So let's just jump through this real quick here and try not to get stung. This hive is hopefully queen right now. Queen right means that there's a mated queen that is going to start laying. And if she got mated yesterday, I might be able to find a few eggs. Okay. Nope. And this side, honey and pollen stores. What's going to be interesting to see is if, on that other frame that has a bunch of queen cells, if she has gone to those queen cells and she has stung them and killed all of her sisters, which is typically what they do. So let's take a look here. By not smoking them, obviously I'm going to agitate them a little more. You see those guard bees right there. See that? How interesting. Ooh, there's no way for me to... Oh, there it is. There it is. You see him? Just like that, the pheromone is triggered and they are... I should have gotten some smoke. I'll be right back with some smoke. There we go. Okay. Let's get back to work. They are targeted on these gloves. The nice thing about this smoke is that it's so cool the way I make it. I don't risk hurting them at all. It's extremely cool. It's just the smell that I need. I don't need the heat. Okay, let's take a look and see if we can find the new queen. Come on, queen, where are you? Where are you? Where are you? Where are you? In this, the rotten part is that it's not very good. They're pretty aggressive if you do it at night or in the evening time, do these inspections. But with the softer light, it's much easier to see. There's a lot of bees in this nucleus hive all of a sudden because I put a lot of frames that had capped brood in it, and they are not happy with me. See that? They're going right for my glove. Yep, they've torn down that queen cell. She has been very, very active, and she went around and she stung the rest of her sisters. Yeah, look at that. And just like that, these... Oh, that's a drone. Drone. See, these are drones right here. That's a drone. Drone. Oh boy, they are stuck on my glove. Whenever you see a bunch of drones like this, they're starting to get pretty active. Oh, I would almost bet money that I would find the queen. It's just hard when she's this small. Oh. I found her. Yep. Okay. She's right there. Can you see her? She's right there. And she's got a good abdomen for not being mated. Unless she's mated today. Let me see if I see any eggs. Try to get the sunlight in there. I don't see any eggs in here at all. I would bet money that she is... There she is, right there. Oh, she's putting her head down in there and she's lapping up some of the nectar. Hopefully there's some pollen for her as well. Yeah, there's lots of pollen over here. There we go, we are queen right, and there's drones. There's drones all around here trying to make sure that they catch that pheromone that she is ready to go and do her mating flight. So she'll probably be mated tomorrow. You're probably looking right at her because you didn't keep your eye off her, but I have. I want to make sure I found her again so I don't accidentally squish her or anything like that when I put this back in the hive. Where did she go? Okay, there's the queen right there. Just another... It's just so much fun to sit here and observe. The queen, they're all trying to communicate to her. They're not aggressive at all to me right now. So this is good. Her abdomen doesn't look as long as some of my other queens. Can you tell the difference? I mean, just look at the bees surrounding her. She has a pointy abdomen. She's going around and she's inspecting the hive, her hive. And I'm trying to look in some of these cells, and I don't see where she has started laying at all. This would be the frame that you would expect it if she was. I don't see any eggs. Nothing. So there's a new drone. Do you see that new drone right there? You can tell he's new because he's so fuzzy. Hasn't hardened off yet. And that might be one reason why she's delaying, is a lot of these drones. There's a newbie right there. Where'd my queen go? Here is a torn down queen cell. All of those queen cells that were capped that I've been showing you over the past 2 weeks or so have all been torn down because she went around and she stung every single one of them. This is her hive and she wanted to make it clear. When I put this hive back together, oh, there's the queen right there. You see how she's just bigger and she just kind of bulldozes herself through? Her abdomen's looking pretty good. She just needs to go on her virgin flight. One risk that I am running here, that I want to close up the hive because I am a little nervous about it, is that when you have a virgin queen, she can fly, and she can fly really well. And so you have it open like this, you run the risk of her feeling scared and flying away, and she hasn't necessarily done an orientation flight yet to know how to get back to her hive. So it's time for me. I can tell they're starting to sting and starting to get not sting, but just butt up against my head, so it's time to close this up. And I'm going to do that right now. Thanks for watching, guys. See you later. Hey, thanks so much for watching this video clip here on splitting hive number 3 into hive number 4. You know, I just really appreciate you guys watching. We've hit a number of subscribers. Please don't forget to subscribe to look at our videos and get automatic updates, as well as to like videos that, of course, that you do like. Not the most professional cinematography, so to speak, in the world, but it is a lot of fun for me to teach those that are just beginning to go about beekeeping as well for the first time. And I have a wasp right on my hand, and I'm going to move this phone and grab it. There we go. I hate wasps. Thanks for watching. Take care, guys. Bye.